Hello and welcome everyone to All the Words October Dragon Mode Sprint. I'm Shannon, writing under the pen name of SC Huston and the author of A Curse in Scales and Feathers, A Curse of Wings and Gems, and the Clash of Goddesses series. And the goal of this stream is to provide a low-key environment to be productive. It is strictly timed with 60-minute sprints and 5-minute breaks for a total of 3 sprints during roughly a 3.5-hour stream. And you're welcome to use the sprints for any productivity you need, whether reading, writing, housework, coursework, day job, or just taking care of you. I use the sprint time to focus because of focus issues, and that means I won't be in the chats until the breaks, but then I'll have to catch up with everyone and talk about whatever it is we were able to get done, and or just celebrate any successes that we have. And Dharma was the first one in this morning. Sorry, I lost it for a second. Here it is. Good morning, beloveds. I'm trying to get my brain squirrels to settle down and focus. Not having much luck so far this morning. And I was right there where you're at on Monday. And I was trying to finish taxes because I had requested an extension because they're due April 15th here in the US. But I had my Kickstarter that I started the year off with my Kickstarter, and my focus is all there. So I was like, I'm not going to get this done in time. So I had to get my taxes done, and I could not focus. And I got such a headache from trying to make myself focus because I had to get it done. Great news. I did get it done yesterday and got them submitted. So all done there. But yeah, I totally understand this, and I hope that it gets better. Mine only got better because I got up and left the computer, and I went and made a meal and played with the kitties. And I did that for one whole sprint. And then I was able to focus better. And I started getting a headache too from trying to make myself focus. And the headache had disappeared in that hour. So it did better after that. But I don't know if that would work every time. I haven't actually tried that tactic before, but that worked that time. And I'm asking, what is everyone working on today? So I also had 2 other deadlines due today, which I thought I would get done yesterday because I finished my taxes like early afternoon. But I had to do a couple of other admin things first. And then I went to go, while I was doing the admin things, our internet went down, and we have AT&T out here. And I got the text message saying it's going to be down for now, and it's not coming back until 3 a.m. in the morning. And I was like, oh, geez, awesome. Can't work on anything else then. So I've got those 2 other things due today, which I'm on 2 anthology committees of 2 different groups. And both of those have the submissions for this round of submissions that I have to edit is due today in both of the groups. So I have to get through all of those. Now, one, I've done other rounds already, and we split the works up so that they're pretty equal between all the rounds because we did a round robin, switching off the works with the other people in the committee. And it only takes me like an hour or 2 at most to get through all of those submissions. So, but that's only like 9,000 to 12,000 words. I can't remember the exact number it was per folder, but the other one is closer to 15,000, maybe closer 30,000. I can't remember, but it's between 15 and 30,000. It's a lot more. So hopefully I should be able to get those done today, and then maybe I can get some writing in. So, because I've not written, well, I did write a little bit on Monday when I was trying to make myself focus again. I'm trying to work on editing the audio for chapter 2851. Sounds like you're making good progress. And thanks. I took my meds and had coffee. Hopefully they kick in soon. Fingers crossed. And afternoon, says Weaver. Hello. A cat is here. Hello. Good morning, friends. I made a cup of coffee and I'm writing a book review. I also need to get dressed for an appointment. Sounds like a busy day. And then you have your stream later. As long as our internet keeps going. So I wasn't able to go to like any streams last night because we had no internet. But morning also started the day with a bad headache. Oh no. Have you been able to take any meds? I don't know if you're able to take meds or if you like taking meds. I really don't like taking meds, but it's not really where we can be a lot of times. So, but yeah, I made it through the comments. Morning, Weaver. Or afternoon, sorry, Weaver. Still morning here in the Sonora Desert in Arizona. Yeah, still morning here too. I think I'm an hour ahead of you. I think. I know Arizona doesn't change time zones, and I can't remember if I'm an hour or 2 hours ahead of you. But I'm in Central, so an hour behind Eastern. All right, we're about to head into our first sprint of the morning, 1 of 3. I don't know what I was thinking. My brain just jumped somewhere else. Don't know why or where it went. So, okay. I will see you guys on, you're 2 hours ahead of me. Okay, so we're the 2 hours. Okay. So yeah, that's kind of early, 6 o'clock for you right now then. All right, first sprint. I'll see you guys on the other side. Good luck. That is time on the first sprint. How did you do? Looks like we have a lot of comments. I'm going to jump over there quickly and go through everything. I got through all of the submissions for the one anthology, and now I'm working on submissions for another anthology, and that's editing and part of 2 anthology committees. We're finishing the last round with one, and we're just starting with another one. Those 2 different separate groups. But yeah, so that's me. That's what I did. So I think I should hopefully maybe get through most of the submissions on the next sprint. So left off here with Dharma said, yeah, you're 2 hours ahead of me. She's in Arizona and I'm Central Time. And then Melvin said, yeah, I can take some and another coffee might help. So I don't know if that worked. Let me know how you're feeling. United Jackson's fan, finally able to catch a live of this. Well, welcome. Are you working on anything? You are welcome to use the sprints for whatever works for you. And yeah, let us know if you want to. You don't have to. But yeah, nice to meet you and welcome to the channel. Andy, hello. How's it going? I don't know who this is either. Having lots of people over here. Hello, welcome. And good evening, Lisa. Let's see, Lisa E. Author and artist. I don't know what the middle part is. Probably your last name or author name or artist name. Probably somewhere in there. I'm having a hard time looking at this on the screen. I don't know what's going on. And YouTube's actually showing this up differently too. Because they used to show the channel name and now they're doing the @ tag handle or the handle or whatever they call that. Not always. It's like off and on that it does it. It's so weird. But welcome and good evening. Are you working on anything? Mom Maggie says, good morning, lovelies. Hello, how are you doing? I just saw a notification for you. I don't know if that was, I'm trying to get these submissions done today because it's due today. My internet went out yesterday and didn't come back on until 3 o'clock in the morning. So I'm a little bit behind. But I thought I saw a notification. I don't know if you're going right now or soon, or you already went, but I did get a notification. I had a charge, hey, at Lisa. Paula, hello. Hi, Shannon. Chat swing by the boop like button. I appreciate that. Thank you. What do the crowns mean? I'm thinking you saw something in the video, but I'm not entirely certain what that part would refer to. So I think the video that was just showing this based off of my stories. Excuse me. My laptop died very quickly, says Lisa. I had inspiration to write a short story, though, so I'll follow on my phone and write some in notes. Oh, that's awesome. Do you do any speech to text? Probably not going to get through all these comments. I'm going so slow. I made my 2K. Oh, I was going to ask you, Devin, if you met it, because I know you were like 600 words shy at the end of the sprints. Today, I'll be getting green nails for my in-person signing tomorrow. Oh, that sounds exciting. Then I'll make sure I have everything ready. Maybe I should buy green pens to match my book. Maybe. Well done, Devin, says Lisa. Thank you. Emma, hello. Hey, everyone. Malve says, training someone today so won't have sound and leaving up for views by. Oh, okay. Well, I hope that your headache gets better. I know you're probably not here still, but thank you so much for stopping in. Hello, JL. How's it going? Good morning, everyone. How's it going today? It's going well. Anyone else make the mistake of buying Halloween candy early? By the time Halloween gets here, there won't be a single Kit Kat left in the bag. That's exactly why I don't buy it early. I would eat all the almond joys. Well, it's 10 p.m. here in Australia, but good productive. How's everyone else doing? I'm doing fine. I'm being able to focus today. Monday was kind of crazy. I couldn't focus. And yesterday I had hyper focus, which was great. So I'm hoping that continues today. So crazy how it can be 10 a.m. here, yet 10 p.m. somewhere else in the world, right? So fascinating. Very wild. Kat says, I completed my book review, hopping off to get dressed and head out to my appointment. Thanks for the friends. Shannon, happy hump day, friends. And thank you so much. And I hope that your appointment goes well. I handwrite, so can't do word count, but 5 pages written, which I'm proud of. I mean, you've got progress. That's what matters. And I used to handwrite too, but I tore my TFC, my writing wrist, and can't really do that. So I do a lot of speech to text now when I'm, my speech to text is actually on. So everything I've been saying is now in my speech to text program. Let me shut this thing off. Okay. But yeah, writing my 3rd book in my trilogy. Nice. What genre do you write? You don't have to say if you want to, but feel free to share. Dharma says, I'm back. I went radio silent to record a few pickups, retakes, finished chapter 28. All right. So, well, you're well over halfway now, right? Because you have 51 chapters. I also made myself a fruit smoothie. Nice. Ouch. Ouch for me recording everything. Oh, my wrist. That's probably what you're saying for. So, urban fantasy. Awesome. I started off writing fantasy, and then I switched over to writing fantasy romance, or what they're now calling romantasy, but it's still like an epic fantasy settings. I often get like there's a couple of sites to do book promos. I'm trying to figure it was a Fussy Librarian. I think it's Fussy Librarian. They have paranormal, which is basically urban fantasy, but with romance. There's paranormal romance. I'm like, that doesn't fit. And it doesn't fit what I'm writing because I write epic fantasy and I don't get as many sales when I do those. So I stopped doing them because it just didn't fit. But I also use, can't remember, I'm running out of time. So second out of 3 sprints. Good luck, everyone. And that is time. How did you do? I had finished up the one anthology that I had to do edits for some stories, and then we'll start working on the next one. Oops, my speech to text program is still open. I use it to like type up my comments I put into the drafts. So because it's faster than me typing because I type slow. So yeah, and there was 4 submissions I had to get through, and I just finished the third one like a couple seconds before the music hit. I still have to leave a comment at the end about whether or not it meets the theme. And this is a anthology for women's fantasy group I'm part of, women's fantasy writing group. So yeah, I gotta leave a comment at the end of the document and then have one more to read. And I don't know how many words that is, but I should definitely finish on the next sprint. And maybe even I've got a few emails I gotta do depending on how much time I have. If I've got time, I'll start some writing. If I don't, then I'll go take care of some emails I have to do. Left off with United Jackson's fans. Is there something else you want me to call you? Is United Jackson's fans? I don't know if you have like another name you want me to call you by. Stating that they write urban fantasy. Lisa says, "Well done, all great job." Wait, I know there's a way to say this name. I'm partially tone deaf, so I can't remember how words are supposed to sound. Siobhan, I think is how you say that. I wrote a little bit toward a short story idea I had in the shower. I love those shower thoughts. Nice. Awesome, Lisa. Proud of you. JL says, got distracted, missed the chat break. That's okay. But hello to everyone who has come in. Hopefully you were able to get some stuff done. And Jackson's fans waving back. Eva came in, waving to everyone. Morning, friends. And then Dee Dee stopped in. Hello. Hi, Shannon. Pop in and say hello. Take a like button. Hope everyone's Wednesday is going wonderfully. It is. And then Dee Dee's also streaming right now, and she'll be going like all day. If anyone wants to hop over there. I do have one more sprint left here for everybody who's still here. Calling in a night. Thanks for the sprint. Hopefully you can join one in the future. Happy productivity, everyone. Thank you so much. And I guess you probably missed me asking what you'd like to be called. I'll just call you United Jackson fans for now. Carrie, hello. How's it going? Hello, friends. Hopping over from Maggie's stream. Yes. So she's going then. Oh, okay. And then here's another one. If anyone's got Maggie's stream, feel free to drop it. Go to Lurk and check out Margaret's book chat. Working on graphics as I lurk. Here is a corrected link for Margaret's stream, I think, probably. Hashtag SHU. I need to go over there and say hello. I don't know if you're still going, Maggie. Good morning, everyone, says Adeshle. Hey, Adeshle from Eva. Nearly done with chapter 13. Handwriting is forcing me to really slow down and think about what I'm writing, so I shouldn't have much more revising to do once dev edits are done. I used to love doing that. I would handwrite everything and then type it up. Well, I didn't have a computer, so I had to wait till I could either get to school to use a computer or and then later on in my early 20s, I had a friend whose computer I used until I got my first computer. But I found that really helped me too. Like it forces you to slow down, think about each individual sentence as you're writing it. And then when you're typing it, it's almost like you're doing a revision, a dev revision at that time. So, but I just can't handwrite anymore. Yay for urban fantasy at United Jackson's. And then Deshley says, hi, Eva. Have you gotten to play any games? Oh, Maggie says stream is over. Okay, that's probably why I don't have a link for it. Adeshe, I've been playing Minecraft mostly. I had a dream last night that I was playing Minecraft, and I don't even know how you would. I don't know how you play that game. I've seen pieces of it here and there from both my boys used to play Minecraft. I don't think Julian plays it as much anymore, but I've just seen pieces. I wouldn't even know how to play it, but I don't know how to play a lot of video games. Is there another comment? That's the last comment. I made it through the comments that time. Woohoo. So we got one more sprint left. For anybody who has to leave out, I thank you for coming. And for everyone else, we'll be starting the last 1 hour sprint in about 45 seconds. So I'm glad to be getting these anthology pieces done. I could have had it done yesterday, but my internet went out, and we got a notice from AT&T saying that they were working on things, and it didn't come back up until 3 o'clock in the morning. But there it is. Diving into play is the best way to learn since games all vary a bit. That's true. It's really very true. And yay, Eva from Adeshe. I think I think what it comes down to is I don't know if I want to spend the time learning a game when I have a lot that I want to do that's other stuff that I want to do. But I'm sure there's gonna be a time where I'm gonna feel like that downtime again where I might want to try something. All right, last sprint, everyone, and good luck. And that is time on the last sprint. How did you do? I finished the last story for the anthology committee that I'm on doing the editing, and had like 10 minutes left, so there wasn't really enough time for me to get into any story. But I did need to answer some emails, so I answered a few emails. And yeah, my brain feels like it just wants to shut down right now. I think I needed some food or something. I don't know if I need a cup of coffee, but maybe that too. But yeah, let's see how you guys did. Eva says I get that vibe. If a game vibe hits, let me know what you choose. Okay, will do. My husband just did get a PS5 for his birthday, which was a couple weeks ago. I have yet to really look at it and check it out yet, but I know he's liking it. Of the 4 books, 2 titles, hardcover and paperback, I finished updates for yesterday. Awesome. So you have half more to go. Both hardcover covers were wrong. Oops, and one title was wrong in another way, but that has already been fixed too. So I need to fix covers, which will take me a bit because I forget how I did it to start with. I do that every time too. No, for real, like Saturday, I spent a lot of time on this past Saturday trying to update A Curse of Scales and Feathers and get A Curse of Wings and Gems fully formatted for pre-order, and then A Curse of Scales and Feathers to update the back matter. I also need to do my other book that I have. My other books, I should update the back matter on all of them, but I haven't done that yet. But when I went to go upload to Amazon and draft a digital, I had to do steps over and over again because I forgot, oh, wait, I had to do that first. Oh, wait, I was supposed to do this. Oh, wait, that's how you're supposed to do that. And I was telling my husband, like just yesterday or day before, I was like, how do people do this when they write so many books? I was like, yeah, no, I know how they do it. I was like, the reason why I'm having trouble is because it's been 2 years since I published a book. So I was like, but if someone was doing this consistently, they're not going to forget all these steps. Because I was thinking at the time when I said to him, how do people do this? All I was thinking about is how it took me all day just to do 2 books. And all I did was the ebook. That's it. I haven't even started on the paperback versions yet. So yeah. And I was like, well, no. If people are publishing quite often, they probably know all the steps and how to hit them and where to go and whatnot to make sure they're doing it in the right order and they're not redoing steps because they forgot one thing, which that happened, I don't know, 4 or 5 times with each one. So yeah, but yeah, I get it, forgetting how to do it. You forgot how to start. So good work, says Mama Maggie. I have reached 2K words today and I'm going to make waffles. Ooh, that sounds yummy. Thanks to the spirits. Well, thank you so much for being here. And an awesome Mama Maggie, because waffles. I did some pre-writing, says Adeshle. Yes, it's such a pain. I get it. And then I learn I don't when it gets sent back to me. Yes, I feel that too. Random question. Anyone on here using Substack? Trying to think. I mean, there's lots of people in the community who use Substack. So actually, Eva uses it. How did I forget that one? Eva uses it. Rachel uses it. I think Sam uses it. Devin uses it. There's a lot of people in the authors community who are using Substack. I've thought about it. The only thing with Substack is you can't set up any automations. So you can send a welcome email. So if you want to treat it as like your email newsletter, there's no automations. So if someone gets added to your Substack, they're just added. They don't go through a whole automation. And I use my automations to do several things. It's how I've been growing my BookBub following. It's how I get some reviews, not a lot, but some reviews for my books because I talk about that. And then I also use my automation just to get to know my newsletter subscribers a little more if they want to communicate back. Because I talk about like, what is my dream goal? Like financially, what's my dream goal? Like not how much money I'm making, but what I would like to do. And it's something that my husband and I, we have a dream goal in the future one day to build our own house. And so everything we've done has been leading to that point. And it looks like we'll meet it. We'll meet that goal one day. So I talk about that. I say all that in my newsletter, in one of my newsletters, in part of my automation. And then I'll ask them, do you have a dream goal like this or something else? And so some of them will interact and tell me their dream goals and things like that, which is really cool. It's cool to see what people are striving toward. But yeah, so I like my automations. I have thought about like all my people who are done with automations, moving them over to Substack, because then I could drop down on my tiers. Because I think right now I'm paying for 5,000 subscribers. It's $421 a year. I know because I just did my taxes yesterday. Um, so I was looking at how much money I spent on that. And I don't make $421 off of my newsletter list. I make some money, but I don't make that much money. And what I mean by making money off my newsletter is like, if I say, hey, I've got a new book out or I've got Kickstarter or whatever, people are going to support you from your newsletter, hopefully, right? And I do get supporters, but it's never enough for $421. So, I mean, this year maybe would come close to it, maybe, but then there's not like any like extra money in my pocket. So, not that, I'm not trying to be out here like trying to grab a whole bunch of money or anything like that, but it would be nice if my business could pay for itself. So, and then have a little bit to put away toward that dream goal. But, yeah, so I've thought about that. Once I go through my automations, move them over to Substack, because I think right now I have like, what's the number? I just saw the number a couple days ago. I think I have like 800 plus people in automations right now. I have like 20 automations, and I've been trying to get my newsletter list down to under 2,500 without getting rid of like people who are actually like doing stuff with my newsletter. So slowly by little, I'm getting closer to the 2,500 mark. I'm just over 2,500. I think I'm like 2,600 and some change, but I just did a promotion that ended and I got the email to add more people to my newsletter. So, every month now I'm calling people. I send out a re-engagement email, and those who do not re-engage, I've been kicking them off my newsletter list because I want people who are going to be invested in the newsletter because I'm paying for it. But if I could get under 2,500, I could pay less than $421 a year. I don't know what that number is. I don't recall. I was under 2,500 at one point, but that was a couple years ago. So that's what I've thought about Substack. I also don't know if I can do like all the different things with Substack. I remember looking into it, but it is a way to like not have to spend money on your email newsletter list. And then there's also some organic traffic on Substack that you don't get on like MailerLite, which is what I use, or MailChimp, which I used to use. Yeah. Additionally, nice. I hope you have a good afternoon. And who was it? I was in Cat's stream. I don't remember when. It might have been Friday or Saturday. And Kat, the one who does the spreadsheet, who updates the spreadsheet. She created it with Devin, another Devin. What's her screen name? I can't remember her screen name. Oh, Chaos, Cat Cafe, something like that. Anyways, when I was on her stream, it was a few days ago, whenever that was. She was on with Glory from Glory Writes the Blues. I think, or at least that used to be her channel name for YouTube. But they were connected to Twitch at the same time. So I was like the only one in their chat for the YouTube side. But they were talking to other people on Twitch. But anyways, Glory she writes lots of different genres. She's just started writing a mystery novel that was in an academy, but not magic, if I recall right. It's just it's like contemporary fiction that was a mystery in an academy. And she was using Substack to put up chapters, and she just put her first chapter up of this new story she was writing, and she got 18 new subscribers overnight. So like when I was in Kat's stream, she had just put it up the night before, and she already had 18 new subscribers just based off of that one chapter. And she was going to release, I don't know if it was weekly or whatever, but you could see the beginning of the next chapter that she was talking about that she was going to release soon. And I don't know if those are paid subscribers or not. I think they were, because I think I remember trying to access something and it said I had to pay. And I was like, well, I don't really pay for any Substacks. So I don't have time to read the ones I am like using. But the other one is, what's her name? She comes in here. It's T. Cardella. I think you've done stuff with her, Adeshle. She just had a book that she just released about the dragon. I'm trying to remember what her name is in the chat. Like when I see it, I know it's her. I can't recall it. She does everything on Substack. Oh, wait. I have her Substack. I haven't opened it yet. And see, that's what I say. I'm not going to pay for Substacks that I don't even get around to reading the ones I do get that are free. Teresa Cardella author is her. So it's T. Cardella is her author name. And so that's on Substack, right? Yeah, it's Substack. So, and I can upgrade to the paid, but I don't get around to reading all the regular stuff. So Yeah, I have too many things to read in my email. So, anyways, hopefully that answered your question. I probably gave you more information than you needed. But nice. Hope you have a good afternoon, says Mom Maggie to Deshley. Nice work, Maggie. Enjoy the waffles. I am on Substack. I forget to update more than once a month. I was trying to remember. I felt like you were on Substack, but when he asked and I was trying to answer, I couldn't recall. I use it, though not consistently, says Eva. Thanks, Mom Maggie. I have a post going up tomorrow, says Eva, but my last one was in May, I think. Yeah, it was a little bit ago. Gotcha. I was curious because I'm wondering if people are getting traction, prefer it. Granted, I know mileage is always different for everyone. Yeah. And Dale, he texted me something. Hold on, get my phone because he has a Substack, and he texted me something about it not too long ago. I'm going through my text messages here. Oh gosh, I don't know. Oh, here it is. Okay, you can go live on Substack now. I don't know if that was always a thing, but he went live on his Substack. And what did he say? I was just telling him about the mystery author. He said, "Well, I must have tapped the vein. It's in the weekly news segment. Is taking off on Substack." And he says, "I don't know why I never posted on Substack. Didn't think of it. I'll be doing it from now on." And I guess it's taking off, and he's getting a whole bunch. He's getting a whole bunch of new subscribers and people supporting his Kickstarter from that. So, yeah, I think it's a decent traction for how inconsistent I am, but my expectations are low. I'm on Substack as far as like I have a profile, I guess, because you have to have one if you want to follow people. And I don't put anything up there, and I'm getting new follows like all the time. Mostly people I know, but I'm like, that's very interesting that people are following me, and I have nothing on my Substack whatsoever. So, yeah. LOL, Eva. I use Substack as a blog more than as a newsletter. I mean, there's like various ways you can use Substack. I know when it comes to authors, many of us talk about using it as a newsletter, but it can just be a blog. It can, and I think the way that Glory is doing it is almost like a Kindle Vella, almost like, right? I'd say about 3/5 of my readers are not subscribers of mine. They read from Substack itself. Oh man, I've got the hiccups bad because I haven't eaten yet. Thinking about using it, I may be able to find more of my type of readers. Maybe. Really, even? Nothing wrong with money coming in. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, only a chunk of my subscribers open the emails even. I don't even know if I opened your last one. I might have for a second, but I'm back to 520 emails that I need to check that are unopened. And so, yeah, every time I got down to like 285. This was probably like a month ago, and now I'm back up to 520. Like seriously, like I think yesterday I was counting how many emails I got. I've already deleted some emails today because I'm just like, okay, let's see. I've only deleted one email today, but other than that, I've received 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 emails already, plus the one I deleted. So 11. I've received 11 emails, and it's not even noon yet for me. So yes. I have way too much coming through, and I keep unsubscribing to things because I just realize I'm not opening them, and just and especially with Gmail, if you don't open someone's email and it comes from like a newsletter provider, it goes into your promotions tab, which then signals back to the email provider that person may not be a trustworthy source, and then it can affect your standing with the newsletter provider. So I'm like, oh, if I'm not opening their emails because I just don't have the time to do it, and they go over to my promotions, then I need to either start opening their emails, or I need to just unsubscribe so that it doesn't affect them negatively. So yeah. But they subscribed, follow, read the post on your Substack, correct, Eva? Cool. Yeah, that's a steep price tag, Shannon. There's got to be options. Yeah, and they're just going up and up from there. And I had, like I said, I had thought about moving over those who are not part of an automation over to Substack. But as I said, like I've got like 800 and some in different automations right now, and I'm about to add another. I don't know. I got the email just last night, but my internet was down. You have readers waiting. I don't know how many. I just did a surge giveaway basically, and I don't know how many more this is. I'm going to guess anywhere between 50 and a couple hundred. It's going to be in that ballpark range, which means I have close to 1,000 in automations when I add them. And then actually have some waiting for me on BookFunnel that I need to get integrated. But that's only like 30 there. So, and I found with BookFunnel is that people will sign up for your newsletter list to get your story, and they unsubscribe as soon as they get added to your list. I will get like a 60 to 75% unsubscribe rate from those. So while BookFunnel has more like fantasy romance promotions over Story Origin, more people stay on your list. And BookFunnel, they unsubscribe almost right away. And it's just kind of disheartening, but it is what it is, right? That's the game. But now that MailerLite has now changed it, it used to be your first 1,000 subscribers was free. Now they changed it to 500. I'm like, I have more people than that in automations. Like I'd have to stop doing promotions and stop building up my email list, like put it on hold and then be careful how many I'm adding just so I can stay in the free plan. And I'm like, I don't know if it's worth it at that point. And of course, then it's, I would have to do it like every month. I'd have to go and move people over from MailerLite and add them to my Substack. And that's more work, which is not hard, but I already have a lot I'm doing. So I've had a lot of different creative ideas. I could use my mailing list, but I only get subscribers from freebies and minimum to no responses. For your mailing list, I mean, do you like ask questions? That's what I find is the easiest thing to do is just ask questions because people like to answer questions. People like to talk about like their reading habits or the best book that they've read lately or whatever book they're reading right now. People like talking about their pets. People like talking about their goals. So, I mean, almost anything along those lines is that when I want to get like a response, I try to think about like, what do I want people to ask me about when it comes to like my reading habits? So I try to put my mind frame in the mind frame of a reader, which, I'm a pretty prolific reader. So, I've asked about like favorite tropes. Oh, that one had a ton of responses. So, and it also gives you a good idea of like what your newsletter list is made out of. So I just watch, I don't know if I agree with this setup. I agree with it if you are wanting to write, but your first goal really is to make money. And this, I just watched this. This is on Thomas's channel, but it's not Thomas, it's Author Media. He was one of our speakers at the conference, but he has the longest running marketing podcast for books out there. Author Media. I don't know. I can't remember the name of Novel Marketing. I think is what it's called. Yes, Novel Marketing. Okay. Let me go to his channel. He just had I thought of Author Media because that's like the name of his company is Author Media or something like that. Because he also does, he works with authors for doing like audiobooks and stuff. His most recent video, this guy talked about how he used his newsletter list to figure out what to print or what to write for his debut novel. And when he went and he did a Kickstarter on it, he made, I don't know, thousands of dollars. Like, was it 70? I don't remember now. I don't know how much money he made. It was a lot of money. 70,000 or 100,000 or somewhere. It was a lot of money for a debut novel, but he used his newsletter list. And of course he had to build it first. And he talks about how he built it. So he had to build it first. And then he used his newsletter list to figure out exactly what type of novel he was going to write so that he was giving his audience what they wanted. Again, this was a way for him to connect with his readers, but also to write what he felt was going to make money so that he was making money at it, right? Which there's nothing wrong with that if that's the goal that you have. I don't know that I could necessarily do it myself because I don't want to write something just because someone else wants it. Like if I want it, sure, I'll write it. But if I don't really want that, I don't want to have to write it. Okay, so the name of the video was 78% of authors make this book marketing mistake. So I'm just going to share the link instead of writing anything else with it. But I just shared the link to that video if you're interested in watching it. Okay. So it'd be nice to have other people who just want to read what I'm putting out there. I've been serializing my not so short story, but boy, it was crickets. Now, are you serializing it in your newsletter? Is that what you're talking about? I guess the algorithm will find your readers if you're posting consistently. And I've thought about having a Substack just to put up stuff like my writing and stuff like that. But I don't know what to actually put there. Like I have lots of writing I could put up. Like I could do my in progress novel, but it's really, really rough still. And I'm looking forward to working with Morgan on it because I'm hoping that she'll be able to help me. And then, of course, Eva, whenever you think of sending me the email, I'll be sending you my novel as well. I really love the novel, but I feel like it's too big. I don't know. Maybe it's not. My Omega readers don't think it's too big, but my Omega readers are my Omega readers because they really love my writing. So they may not really be looking at it as like what could be taken out or what's not necessary to the story. I don't know. So go back and forth. So I don't know. That one I think is really rough still, even though I've revised it so many times. Not the last half of the chapters, the beginning half, but and then I thought about, well, I could put up my short stories that I'm publishing next year. I don't know, but I'm publishing them next year. Do I want to put them up right now? Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to put up there, to be honest. It's almost like I'd have to write a different story just for the Substack. They will send you the graphics to share on socials even. My Substack. Yes, please feel free to share it. I should have said that. I'm sorry, Eva. Anyone who has a Substack here, feel free to share it. I always like information. Thanks, Eva. Substack keeps expanding. Yeah, they're really expanding. It would be, if they got automations, I would be on board. Like in a second, I would switch over. But I feel like they're going to get to a point, like maybe I'm wrong. With Substack, you can monetize. They make money when you monetize. You monetize your posts, basically. So I feel like there's going to be a point in which they'll start charging you if you have so many. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe they won't. Maybe because the way they monetize it, they don't need to do that. But I just feel like greed sort of starts to take over when it comes to some of the platforms. So greed and everything changing in the world and becoming more expensive. Anyways, I have a lot of creative ideas, more serialization, short stories, occasional essays. Once again, I could do this all within my mailing list, but it'd be nice to have organic growth. I agree. It's good information. The book funnel versus story origin stuff. At least that's my experience. That's what I've come across. So it may not be other people's experience. But let people see the different things I might add, which is hard on the mailing list, and they can decide if they like it or not versus just showing up because of one-time reader magnet. I could ask more questions. Maybe my questions aren't coming from the right angle. I don't know. Yeah. And every audience is different too. So you could like take some of my suggestions and it doesn't work for your audience. And either that means that, and not necessarily my questions per se, but you could use other people's ideas or whatever you find out there and it doesn't work. And it could either mean that maybe you're not, if these questions are relevant to your writing, whatever it is that you use, it could be that your audience is not being filled up with the right audience that you need for your writing, or you just haven't come across the right questions to reach your readers. I would go with the second option first and just keep trying different types of questions. But if nothing hits, then at that point, it might be, okay, I might not have the right audience that I actually need. That's why I've started really getting rid of a lot of people on my newsletter list. If I kept every single person, I'd be almost at 30,000 subscribers right now. I was like, I've gotten rid of so many people. But I did ask questions. At this point, I've been on a few month hiatus, so I could always try again. Yeah. If you watch this, you'll learn some of the questions that he asked his audience. I don't know if that would be helpful. Reserialization, yes, within my newsletter. Okay. I thought I remembered that, but did I unsubscribe to your newsletter or did it just end up in my promotions folder? I don't know because I can't remember the last time I saw your newsletter. Oh, God. Yeah, that's full too. My promotions tab. I have too much there. Well, you're quick at crafting stories. You could always just do short stories if you want it, like your own anthology. I'm sure. Yeah, the short stories have been going really, really fast. I'm not really quick. I don't feel like. I don't know. I mean, I do write fast, but they need a lot of work. Like I've already, I've revised the first short story, my short story series. But even so, I was just like, okay, this really needs another pass before I pass it on to my Omega readers. And I've started revising the second story, and I feel like, oh gosh, I need to go back to the board on some of this stuff. But I've rewritten like a couple of the chapters in that short story. Like I've kept the same things happening, but just totally rewritten it. And it's taken me more time than the first one, but I don't know. Yeah, it just takes me a long time. I always say it takes me a long time to revise, which it does. And I know you said it seemed like I revised really quickly when I did my novel at the beginning of the month. It was 110,000 words. And I was thinking about that for a while. I was like, okay, that was really fast. What made it fast? To me, it didn't feel fast. It was 12 hours. over 3 days or 2 days, 2.5 days. But then I thought about it and I was like, well, like the first 25 chapters, I've already revised quite a bit. Like I had written them, and then I had my readers who asked me after beta reading and alpha reading the second book in the series, say, hey, are you writing the third book? I'd love to read it. And that's when my Omega readers came in. I said, well, it's really rough. And they're like, we don't care. We want to read it. And I revised them before I put them on Story Origin for them to access it. And then since then, I've revised those chapters again and redid them all again on Story Origin. Those were like the first 25 chapters. And I think I don't remember how many chapters I have. I don't know. I don't know where I'm at. I would say I probably have 10 or 15 more chapters after that I've only revised once now. And then there are parts of that where I've left notes that would be overhaul revisions, but I'm not sure if they're useful. And I didn't do those revisions because I don't know what the rest of the book is going to look like yet. So yeah, there's that. Wow, 30K. Yeah, because I do a lot of promotional things, some free, some are not. I would say the majority of stuff is not free. There's one that I use that's free, and I always get between 30 and 50 new subscribers every time I do it, sometimes more, but I do a lot of promotions all the time. I'm always doing promotions. Like I have a promotion that started today, actually. So I'm sending out that newsletter on the 18th to promote that with my own newsletter. And yeah. And of course, then I had one that just finished yesterday. And I don't know how many I got from that, but yeah. So I do promotions. I do a lot of promotions with my books. So it's easy. Like you said, giving away something free, people sign up, and you get tons of people on your list that way. But then are they actually there that are going to be good for you in the long term? Now, a lot of them are going to be cold readers. They're not good for you when they start off as cold readers. You have to find a way to get through to them to make them feel invested in you as an author, which is not easily done. So I can only tell you how I've done it, but I don't think I'm the most successful at it either. I've heard of other authors talking about it. I'm like, wow, that's really good. So gosh, I wish I had that were my challenge. LOL. You'll get there. You just have to, it's time or money, right? So I do a lot of promotions that cost money, but I do have some that are free. And there's one site. What is it? What is that one site? I can't think of it off the top of my head. That you can even start your own promotion, reader magnet giveaway, like promotion there. And but there's other authors that are on there, and it's free, completely free. I can't remember what it is now, but I get it. Having an actual dedicated, active group of readers is important. Yeah. How long does it take you to revise? I don't actually know. I need to look at it. I do have data from the last couple of years, and I can look at how long it has taken me to revise by project and project length and stuff. I should look at that data, but I haven't looked at it. I've just looked at my overall words per minute. That's when I found out I wrote 3 words a minute 3 years ago. This is 2025, 2024, 2023 is the first year I started documenting everything. In 2023, I wrote 3 words per minute. And that's when I told myself in 2024, I was going to try dictating more. And I fell off of that for whatever reason. And then I told myself this year, I'm going to start dictating even more. and I've kept with it pretty well. Yeah. Only every now and then I find that and it's usually in revision. If I'm redoing a whole section, I could be doing that in speech to text, but I'll be typing it instead. I'm like, oh, I could have done the speech to text and saved myself some time. But, that's about the only time. But I don't honestly know. I'd have to go through it. Like I said, and I only knew that because you said it was really fast. I looked at because I was, I track everything. And I just looked in October, the beginning of October, when I started working on that. Yeah, the first and the second, I worked on it. So it was just 2 days. But I think that the second, which was a Thursday, I think I was up past midnight, but I just put everything on Thursday. And it was 2 full days, but it was 12 hours, 12.2 hours revising. And I would say that was quicker because I wasn't, where I felt like some places might need more revision, I just started leaving notes. I only took one section and rewrote it because I was pretty certain that I was going to keep that scene. But there were other scenes that's like, okay, this is what I should do. And so then it was just typing notes. And I've wondered if I should do this. I don't know. The notes that I type, I put comments because I put comments in my drafts if I'll think of something, I'll put a comment in there to remind myself of it later or whatever. and or notes for revision, or note to say, don't forget this is the scent associated with this person, or this is the eye color, or whatever. I'll do like little notes like that to myself. I don't count that in my writing process, and I've always wondered if I should count that. But I typically type into the box for the comment on the word feature or the Google Doc feature, depending on which one I'm working in, and that doesn't give you a word count. And I'm like, I'm not sitting here and count every single word up. And I told myself to start putting my comments into the speech to text program, and then then I can see how many words it is. But because that takes time to write as well. But I'm like, that's not the actual story. So should I? Although sometimes it's like brainstorming notes, because sometimes they read like brainstorming notes. So I don't know. I don't count those words, but maybe I should. On a side note, I've started adding dictation to my writing process. Anyways, I best stop making comments so you can close it. Yes. Thanks for all the insights, Esty and everyone. I like talking about this stuff. So hopefully, I don't know, hopefully some of that was helpful. Okay. Thank you everyone so much for coming. I'll be back again tomorrow, Thursday. Same setup, same deal. And catch you all later. Bye.